Welcome to Smoke Signals, everyone. I'm Matt Montgomery, along with head football coach Jason Holman. Jacksonville gets win number 2 on the season, a district win over Athens last week on homecoming at Tomato Bowl, 34-17. Coach, it's 10-10 at the half. You have 2 special teams touchdowns. You had 19 offensive plays. You had 88 yards of total offense. I mean, you come out in the second half and you almost double the number of plays and the yardage, obviously. And what was Athens doing in the first half that kind of changed some of your offense where you were unable to be as productive as you've been the previous few games?
I don't know if so much what they were doing as what we weren't doing. We just weren't executing quite like we needed to, and there was a couple of adjustments we made at halftime in terms of our blocking schemes and just figuring out where their soft spots were, so to speak, and where we could really, attack them in the run game. And to their credit, Coach did a great job of adjusting and get it fixed.
Well, 2 things happened in the game that I know you love personally as a head coach is your special teams just thrived, and you took the second half kickoff and you went down and scored and set the tone in the second half.
Yeah, we've had that kind of repeating tendency going for the past 3 weeks, and it's a really good tendency to have, and I hope we can continue that. But, yeah, very proud of the special teams effort, everything from JJ Cabrera kicking the football, kickoff to Jesus Nunez and his field goals that he's making, his extra points.
And Skylar's punting the ball
coverage, punt.
Yeah.
Of course, Devin returning on both punt and kickoff return. Yeah. It was just a good night for us in terms of the kicking games. Glad to see all that finally kind of gelling and coming together because it's been a while. We've been working at it hard.
And, of course, Athens, they got their quarterback back after being you expected that. And then they come out in this diamond package, this diamond look, something that really I wasn't expecting. And they executed well and ran the ball. Then they had to get away from it when y'all started moving the ball and scoring.
Yeah, we'd seen it a little bit in previous games, not a whole lot. It was kind of their package they went to when their starting quarterback got hurt, just to try to generate some offense. But I think I mentioned this at the game, but it just took a minute because when they had those 3 backs, they're plugging them in different gaps. It just took a minute for us to kind of figure out, exactly how we needed to fit it defensively. And that first drive kind of got on us a little bit, and then we figured it out from that point on.
A lot of highlights in this ball game, 34-17 win for Jacksonville. Let's take a look at some of those. Coach, here's Jesus for 33. He actually made a 29-yarder at the end of the game as well. He's 4 for 5 for the year.
And as big as that one was, that 29-yarder was huge because that separated it and made it 3 scores.
And here's the congratulations play of the game, 87 for Devin.
Yeah, great move right there in traffic, and, of course, just does the rest with his feet.
This is where you started to see the separation coming up here in the third quarter with this 11-yard touchdown pass from Ryan to Jermaine.
Yeah, great opening drive to start the second half, and, after the kickoff return and then going down and scoring and just kind of taking the game away.
This is sometimes I know as a coach you get nervous. You see this ball bouncing, you're like, get away, and then scoop, here he goes.
Yeah, you've kind of got to temper that as far as, how risky you want to be, but also at the same time we don't want to just tie a kid down where we can't get plays like that.
Power play here, Ryan Walker.
That's our beast package, and Ryan's kind of stepping in where Jaden Boyd was for us previously and did a great job of getting in.
What a run, 17 yards for Jawalen. He just continues to excel.
Getting better and better. Got a real good feel for what we're doing offensively, and has got good vision.
Defensive player of the game here, Coda Kennedy, his first of 2 picks.
Yeah,
wow.
Did this twice late in the game and made some outstanding plays there to really kind of put the clamps on Athens in terms of their hopes of winning.
I know, Coach, in the secondary, you love to see this. Trent Powell getting multiple breakups. Here's one of them.
Got a few. Kind of got to let them. I'd prefer us to be on top, but great job of battling and getting your hand on the football and disrupting the pass.
Here's Coda's second interception. This was huge, Coach.
Well, you saw Mike Miles come free up the middle, and don't think that didn't cause maybe an errant throw out of him, but great job by Coda seeing the back come out and get the pick.
Looking at the stats, another solid game offensively, passing, running the ball, good balance there, 261 total. Coach, 55% of your yards are through the air, 45% on the ground. That's quite a turnaround over the past few years. I mean, you got a lot of balance there, and that's something I know that and look at the turnovers now. You were -6 going in the Pine Tree game. Now you're only -3, as you were +3 in this ball game on the turnovers.
Yeah, we want to continue to improve in that area. We want to get on the plus side. and we want to continue taking the ball away defensively to help that.
So this week it's Kilgore, over at R.E. St. John Stadium, a team Jacksonville hasn't played since 2011. Coach, this may be the most talented football team that Jacksonville has seen so far. I know Crandall had a lot of talent, but these cats can play.
Yeah, they're very talented, very physical on the defensive line. One of the things that jump out at you. Have two great running backs that are physical as well. When they get in the open field, they can outrun you to the end zone. We've got a work cut out for us. We're going to have to come to play, and we're going to have to match their physicality.
And this is a team that Chapel Hill went to the semifinals last year, but that game they played, Kilgore could have been the team in the semifinals last year. They have all those guys back. You mentioned Isaiah Ross, number 21, the running back, had 228 yards last week rushing against Palestine. The previous week he had 138. Kilgore opened the season, two pretty tough opponents playing Carthage and Gilmer, and then they've won their last three.
Yeah, they've had a really tough schedule up to this point, and I think, by playing some of those tougher opponents early, it's prepared them for district. And like I said, we got to go to their place, and we got to match their physicality if we want to compete with them.
The guys up front you've already mentioned, so good defensively for Kilgore. What will your offense do differently this week maybe that will you have to take that into account? Well,
we still want to be able to attack them and make them honor the run game, but at the same time, we want to do some things maybe a little bit different. Some of our quick games, some of our quick passing game, get them running left and right or east and west and try to tire them out, and maybe that'll soften the middle for us. So we're going to put a little bit on Ryan McCown as quarterback to be able to deal the ball out and get it out of his hands quickly, and in hopes that'll open some things up for us inside.
Coach, offensively, their quarterback Van Zant, he's a weapon. He can throw the ball, he can run the ball, and their secondary looks like it may get tested this week. Not that they haven't been tested, and they've had that kind of that bend don't break mentality. Your secondary, and the linebackers have stepped up and played well, and of course the defensive front I've been really impressed with. So talk about Kilgore offensively. You mentioned the running backs. What else do they do?
So they're about 63% run. 37% pass, something of that nature. So they favor the run over the pass. Obviously, with the two tailbacks they have, you can see why they do that. And they're good up front. They fit you up offensively, and they block well, and they understand their scheme. So, the key for us is we've got to make sure we're on point with how we fit the run, keeping leverage on the run game, not letting them break into the secondary and get some of those long runs that they've done in the past weeks. So, really got to tackle well, really got to control the line of scrimmage. Other than that, they will throw the football. They're certainly not scared to throw it. We've got to make sure we stay on top, we squeeze to the ball, and keep leverage in the passing game. So it's going to be a test, no question.
As this district schedule starts to squeeze down, it's week 2, both of you 1-0, and Coach, you go over to Kilgore, and it's a tough place to play, but you talked about in post-game last week about the confidence level that you're seeing in your team. 2 wins in a row now. You're starting to kind of feel that, to me, this season so far, you've played 5 games. There was 2.5 games, and then there's the other 2.5 games.
Yeah.
and the Crandall game just turned. So that confidence level, how important is that going into the dog pound, if you will, over at Kilgore with how good they are?
Well, it's huge. And you make a great reference there, and I was about to say, I believe at halftime of the Crandall game is when I kind of expressed to the team is we still don't know who we are because we still couldn't get out of our own way, making mistakes, turning the ball over, and just not playing up to our potential. So I challenged them at the halftime of the Crandall game, let's find out who we are, who we can be. I think we've done that to a degree. I think there's still plenty more to discover, but we've done that to a degree over the last couple of weeks, and that confidence level has grown. And, it means all the difference in the world when you have confidence in what you're doing, when you have confidence in your teammates and what they're doing, so that we all collectively can do our jobs. That's a great place to be. Certainly, if you don't have that, you're in trouble.
What are the keys? What are you telling your team this week? These are the keys. These are the things that we must do to win.
Well, we've got to make it a ball game, which means we've got to make sure we're on point in the first half. We're ready to go from the opening kickoff. Kilgore's a good enough team that if you give them anything, they can take an inch and make it a mile and then get on top of you pretty quick if you're not careful. So we want to make sure we manage the game effectively, kind of like we've done the past 2 weeks, compliment each other on each side of the football. We don't want to go 3 and out, 15-play drive on defense, for example, or vice versa. So we want to make sure that we keep the game in control. We want to get it to the second half and then put ourselves in a situation, hey, let's go see what we can do. Anytime you're playing an opponent that's really good, to me, that's the key. Let's make sure we maintain the game, not let it run away from us early, and let's get it into the second half, get it into the fourth quarter, and let's see what we can do.
Jacksonville versus Kilgore, week 2 of district play. Kickoff coming up at 7:30. For head coach Jason Holman, I'm Matt Montgomery. We'll see you next time right here on Smoke Signals.